The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead in the crowded grocery store. Jack Miller, a single dad and Army veteran, was standing in line with a cart of cereal, milk, and the cheapest cuts of chicken he could find. His daughter, Sophie, clutched his hand, humming to herself, unaware of the tension building near the front. Raised voices broke through the hum of checkout beeps. A young clerk was pointing at a woman, dark hair tied back, dressed in casual jeans and a jacket. Her cheeks were flushed red, her hands trembling as a security guard blocked her way. "You need to come with me, ma'am. You've been caught shoplifting." "I didn't steal anything," she protested, her voice firm but edged with panic. Jack felt Sophie squeeze his hand. "Daddy, she looks scared." Most people in line stared, whispered, and pulled out their phones to record. Nobody moved to help. Nobody questioned the accusation. But Jack knew that look in the woman's eyes, not the shifty glance of a thief, but the desperate confusion of someone being cornered unjustly. He'd seen soldiers wear that same look when accused of mistakes they didn't make. He stepped forward. "Excuse me," Jack said, his deep voice cutting through the murmurs. "What exactly did she take?" The clerk rolled his eyes. "She stuffed something into her jacket. I saw her." Jack studied the woman. She stood tall, her chin raised despite the heat in her cheeks. Something didn't add up. He crouched slightly, looking Sophie in the eye. "Stay right here, sweetheart." Then he turned back and approached. "Did you actually see her leave without paying? Or did you just assume?" Jack asked. The guard bristled. "Sir, this doesn't concern you." Jack's military training kicked in, calm, direct, immovable. "When you accuse someone publicly, it concerns all of us. Empty her pockets in front of everyone, if you're so sure." The woman hesitated, then slowly reached into her jacket. Out came a child's inhaler. She clutched it to her chest. "It slipped in here while I was juggling groceries. I didn't even realize until he grabbed me." Her voice cracked, and for the first time, her composure wavered. The crowd fell silent. Jack crossed his arms. "Looks like she was carrying medicine, not merchandise. I think you owe her an apology." The clerk's face paled. The guard stepped back, embarrassed. But before anyone could speak, the woman straightened, her voice regaining authority. "That's enough," she said firmly. Then she reached into her back pocket, pulled out a leather badge wallet, and flipped it open. The gold shield gleamed. "Captain Reynolds, Metropolitan Police Department." Gasps rippled through the crowd. The clerk stumbled back, stammering. I didn't know." "You shouldn't have to know." She cut him off. "Every citizen deserves respect, not judgment. Remember that." Jack's eyes widened. He hadn't expected this twist. But what struck him wasn't her rank. It was the tears she blinked back when she glanced at him. "Thank you," she said softly, her voice dropping. "Most people would have just watched." Jack gave a small shrug. "I've seen good people torn down by false assumptions before. Couldn't stand by and let it happen again." Sophie tugged at his sleeve. "Daddy, you were like a superhero." The woman laughed, a warm, genuine sound that broke the tension. She crouched down to Sophie's level. "No, sweetheart. Your dad's something even better. He's brave when nobody's watching." As the store manager scrambled to smooth things over, Captain Reynolds stood tall again, but her eyes lingered on Jack. "Men like you are rare," she said quietly. "If this world had more of you, we need fewer badges." Jack didn't know what to say. For once, words failed him. Later, as they walked out with their groceries, Sophie skipped ahead, humming. Jack glanced back to see Captain Reynolds watching them leave, a faint smile on her lips, not as a cop, but as a woman who'd been reminded of something she almost forgot, that kindness still exists in a world too quick to judge. And in that moment, Jack realized something, too. Sometimes the battles that matter most aren't fought overseas or in uniforms. They're fought in everyday places, by ordinary people choosing to stand up when silence would be easier. Jack loaded the groceries into the back of his old pickup truck while Sophie climbed into her booster seat, humming away. But his thoughts kept circling back to what had just happened. That woman, Captain Reynolds, had handled humiliation with grace. Yet beneath her badge and her firm voice, Jack had seen the human side, a flicker of fear, the pain of being misjudged. He knew it well. Years ago, when he'd come home from deployment, people had looked at him differently. Some had whispered, "Damaged." Some had avoided him altogether. A veteran. A single dad. Easy labels for a complicated man. And now, in that grocery store, he had seen the same unfairness aimed at her. As Jack slammed the tailgate shut, a voice called out, "Mr. Miller?" He turned. Captain Reynolds stood by his truck, no longer the stern officer but a woman trying to find the right words. "You didn't have to step in back there," she said. Jack smiled faintly. "Ma'am, I think we both know silence can do more damage than shouting." Her eyes softened. "You're right. Most people just film it. They don't step in." Jack shrugged. "Maybe they've forgotten what it feels like to be human first." There was a pause. Then she chuckled, almost nervously. "You know, I came here to grab soup and bread for my mother. She's recovering from surgery. I was rushing. That's how the inhaler slipped into my jacket pocket. And suddenly, I was a thief." Jack leaned against his truck. "Doesn't take much, does it? One mistake. One assumption. And the whole world sees you differently." Her gaze lingered on him for a long moment. "The world needs men like you. Brave. Decent. Honest. Men who teach their kids the same values."